We're awaiting a report from the Justice Department Inspector General Michael Horowitz on the FBI's handling of its investigation into the 2016 Trump campaign. Meantime, the DOJ is expanding its investigations into the origins of the Russian probe to include several, quote, non-governmental organizations and individuals. Let's bring in Republican Senator Marsha Blackburn of Tennessee. She sits on the Senate Judiciary, Armed Services, and Commerce Committee. Senator, thanks for joining us.
Good to be with you. Thank you.
Where are we right now? Everyone's kind of waiting and pretty excited, but where's this AG report? Any kind of ETA, and what do you expect from it?
I'm not certain what
IG report.
Yes, what the ETA on the IG's report is going to be. But here is what we do know, Charles, is that the Democrats are getting mighty antsy about what might be found in that report and about what Attorney General Barr could possibly be looking at, because they are the ones who did some outsourcing and working with the Russians and foreign nationals and trying to get information, the dossier paying for that through the Clinton campaign. Some of the other connections, of course, we know that Adam Schiff was looking forward to talking to some Russian agents and getting information. So all of that does come into play. We look forward to getting the report, and I can assure you that Chairman Lindsey Graham there at the Senate Judiciary will do a tremendous job of conducting appropriate oversight.
Senator, you took some criticism this week. Tennessee Senator blocks a bill to mandate foreign reporting of foreign election aid. What was that about? Why did you object to this so-called FIRE Act presented by Senator Mark Warner?
Yes, it was truly a political stunt that he and Chuck Schumer were trying to pull off on the floor after votes had finished on Thursday. And then about an hour later, they go to the floor. They're going to try to push through a UC saying you would have to report all contact from any vendor, door knocker, participant, anybody having conversation or even commenting on your campaign. You would open them up to an FBI investigation, and everyone has vendors that work for their campaign. This is something that was overly broad. They were doing it as a political stunt. It was beneath the dignity of the Senate, and it's something they ought not to do. Everybody is against foreign interference into U.S. policy or elections or influence or any such. It was wrong in 2016. It'll be wrong in 2020 and forevermore.
Right.
But, Charles, here's the thing. The Russians have been trying to interfere in U.S. policy for decades. So out of all this, I do congratulate my Democrat colleagues for finally admitting that Russia is not our friend, they're a foe. Of course, that is something that former President Obama obviously did not think was a problem because of the comments that he had back when Mitt Romney was his opponent. They were in that debate.
Right,
it's also
that.
Something, he had said to Medvedev, please tell Vladimir I'll have more flexibility after the election.
I want to ask you about the southern border, the crisis there.
Sure.
Because now it's no one can dispute that it's a crisis. The numbers are astronomical, and they're being driven by unaccompanied children, family units.
Yes.
They're making an extraordinarily dangerous trek. And President Trump scored a big success with his threat of tariffs against Mexico. They are taking action, but obviously more needs to happen. What are your thoughts there?
President Trump is precisely correct when he talks about the border and the crisis there. Yes, a humanitarian crisis, and I will tell you also, it is a national security crisis. My hope is that we're going to surge resources there. 2 different crossing posts that I was in are no longer used for inspections. They are centers that are reception centers. One built to hold 85 people is now holding 1,200 people. And Charles, changing the asylum laws is an imperative. Building the wall is an imperative. putting more officers and agents on the ground. That is an imperative in getting judges and resources. We have to surge resources to this area to end this crisis.
Senator Blackburn, always a pleasure. Thank you very much.
Good to be with you. Thank you.